Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, is a 1997 American superhero film directed by David Winning and Shuki Levy and written by Levy and Shell Danielson. A sequel to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, it is the second installment in Power Rangers film series and was produced by Saban Entertainment and Toei Company, Limited, and was distributed by 20th Century Fox. The film stars Johnny Yong Bosch, Nakia Burrise, Steve Cardenas, Jason David Frank, Austin St. John, Catherine Sutherland, Jason Narvy, Paul Schrier, Hilary Shepard Turner, Amy Jo Johnson, and Blake Foster. Taking place after the events of Power Rangers Zeo, the new cast and characters from the film become cast members of Zeo's successor series, Power Rangers Turbo, with the film's events leading into the successor series. As with its television season, the film used concepts and costumes from the Japanese Super Sentai series Gekisou Sentai Carranger. Sets and costumes created for original characters in the film were later used in the television series, with the film's climactic antagonist Maligore being reused for the evil Dark Specter in the subsequent Power Rangers in Space season. The film was released on March 28, 1997 to generally unfavorable reviews. It was criticized for its visual effects and campiness, but critics praised the performance of its cast. Plot: on the planet Lyria, a wizard named Larrigate is being hunted down by Divatox, an intergalactic space pirate, who is seeking his golden key to traverse an interdimensional gateway and enter into matrimony with Maligore, an imprisoned demon who promises her great riches and power. Larrigate escapes Divatox's forces and travels to Earth in search of Zordon and his friend Alpha 5. Weakened by the sun's ultraviolet rays, Larrigate meets a pack of chimpanzees and wanders off with them. Meanwhile, Divatox heads for Earth in pursuit. In Angel Grove, Rocky DeSantos, Adam Park, and Tommy Oliver are training for a charity fighting competition to save the youth shelter, when Rocky accidentally injures his back. Catherine Hillard and Tanya Sloan arrive with Justin Stewart, a kid who admires Rocky and frequents the shelter. As Rocky is rushed to the hospital, Justin follows the group and learns they are Power Rangers. Zordon sends Tommy and Catherine to search for Larrigate. They manage to find him and return to the power chamber, searching for 2 human sacrifices to revive Maligore. Upon finding Kimberly Hart and Jason Lee Scott, who are scuba diving nearby, Divatox captures them. While recovering, Larrigate is contacted by Divatox, who has captured his family and demands he surrender himself. Divatox also uses Kimberly and Jason to pressure the Rangers. At the exchange site, Elgar tricks the Rangers and captures Larrigate. Zordon and Alpha create new powers for the Rangers to defeat Divatox. With these new turbo powers and new vehicular turbo Zords, the Rangers travel across the desert to a ship called the Ghost Galleon. They are joined by Justin, who has received Rocky's Blue Ranger powers while Rocky is recovering in the hospital. On Divatox's submarine, Jason and Kimberly come up with a plan to escape. But though Bulk, Skull, and Kimberly escape the sub, Jason is trapped and left behind. After Divatox and the Rangers traverse the Nemesis Triangle and reach the island where Maligore is, Divatox torpedoes the Ghost Galleon, and the Rangers narrowly escape. Kimberly is recaptured and brought to Divatox by the tribal natives of the island who worship Maligore as their god. At the temple in the volcano, the Rangers fail to free Jason and Kimberly before they are possessed by Maligore and attack the Rangers mercilessly, but the Rangers succeed in freeing Larrigate and his wife Yara, who undo the possession. Angered, Divatox sacrifices her nephew and successfully revives Maligore. The Rangers combine their Turbo Zords and form the Turbo Megazord to fight Maligore. They defeat him as Divatox and Rygog flee, vowing vengeance. The Rangers pick up Jason, Kimberly, Larrigate, Yara, Bulk, and Skull and return to Angel Grove. At the competition, Jason takes Rocky's place, and they win the fight, earning the money to save the shelter. Cast: Johnny Yong Bosch as Adam Park/Green Turbo Ranger, a martial artist originally from Stone Canyon and formerly the second Black Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and Green Zeo Ranger. He pilots the Desert Thunder Turbozord. Nakia Burrise as Tanya Sloan/Yellow Turbo Ranger, an orphaned girl from Africa and formerly the Yellow Zeo Ranger. She pilots the Dune Star Turbozord. Steve Cardenas as Rocky DeSantos, a martial artist and formerly the second Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and Blue Zeo Ranger. Jason David Frank as Tommy Oliver/Red Turbo Ranger, the leader of the Power Rangers, Catherine's current love interest and formerly the Green/White Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, and Red Zeo Ranger. He pilots the Red Lightning Turbozord. Alston St. John as Jason Lee Scott, the first Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and formerly the Gold Zeo Ranger. Catherine Sutherland as Catherine Cat Hillard/Pink Turbo Ranger, an Australian teenager and Tommy's current love interest and formerly the second Pink Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and Pink Zeo Ranger. She pilots the Windchaser Turbozord. Jason Narvy as Eugene Skullovich, a police officer working at Angel Grove. Paul Schrier as Farkas Bulkmeyer, a police officer working at Angel Grove. Hilary Shepard Turner as Divatox, a space pirate who seeks to marry the demon Maligore and conquer the galaxy. Amy Jo Johnson as Kimberly Hart, the first Pink Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and Tommy's former love interest. Blake Foster as Justin Stewart/Blue Turbo Ranger, a child in the care of Tanya and Catherine at an Angel Grove children's group. He becomes the Blue Turbo Ranger in Rocky's place and pilots the Mountain Blaster Turbozord. Additionally, Greg Bullock reprises his role as Lieutenant Jerome Stone from Power Rangers Zeo. Richard Jennell reprises his role as Ernie, the Angel Grove Gym and Juice Bar's owner. Winston Richard plays Zordon, an interdimensional being and the Rangers' mentor, with Bob Manahan voicing the character, and Doneen Kissler plays Alpha 5, a robot from Ed Noy and Zordon's assistant, with Richard Wood voicing Alpha 5. John Simanton portrays Larrogate, a wizard who holds a magical key that can open portals to worlds and realms, while Lex Lang provided the voice for the character. Divatox's henchman includes Lang also voices Rygog, one of Divatox's henchmen. J.B. Levine voice Yara and Bethel, Larrogate's wife and daughter. Danny Wayne Stalkup physically portrays Elgar, Divatox's dim-witted nephew, while David Umansky provides his voice. Mike Deek portrays Maligore, Divatox's fiancé and true antagonist of this movie. Carla Perez reprises her role as Rita Repulsa, a sorceress who has fought the Power Rangers in the past, with Barbara Goodson providing her voice. Production. As opposed to the CGI Megazord used in the first Power Rangers film, this sequel uses the actual costume of the Turbo Megazord appearing in American footage. The main series would rely on the Carranger footage. According to a 2013 post on Johnny Yong Bosch's Facebook page, the original script called for a lengthy underwater battle using the Zeo Ranger powers, wherein the Power Rangers emerge with tattered costumes. The unused plot would also explain how the turbo powers were created. It was also originally scripted that Billy Cranston, the original Blue Mighty Morphin Ranger, had created the turbo powers with Zordon and Alpha 5. While this plot element was ultimately dropped from the theatrical release, the concept of torn outfits would be used for the Turbo season finale. Also, whereas Hilary Shepard Turner appears as Divatox in the film, by the time filming began for the TV series, she had taken maternity leave, thus being replaced by Carol Hoyt. In the 26th episode, The Darkest Day. Music. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie original motion picture soundtrack, is the licensed soundtrack to the film. It was released by Mercury Records on March 18, 1997, on audio CD and compact cassette. The album serves a dual purpose, as it not only used much of the music heard in the movie, but also contained several tracks from Power Rangers Zeo. Release. Home media. The film was released on July 8, 1997, on VHS and Laserdisc. The film, as well as 1995's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The movie was then released on a two-sided DVD disc on March 13, 2001, and then re-released on a single-sided disc in 2003. This film was re-released with different packaging in 2011. The film was then re-released in March 2017 in a bundled set with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie to coincide with the release of the 2017 film Power Rangers. In 2019, it was announced that Shout Factory had acquired the rights to re-release the movie and confirmed that Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, would be released for the first time on Blu-ray. It was released on July 30, 2019. Reception. Box office. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, opened theatrically on March 28, 1997, in 2113 venues. It earned $3.03 million in its opening weekend, ranking number 7 in the domestic box office. At the end of its run, the film had grossed $8.04 million in North America and $1.03 million overseas, for a worldwide total of $9.06 million. Critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 15% based on 20 reviews, with an average rating of 3.8/10. On Metacritic, it has received a weighted average score of 35 out of 100 based on 9 reviews, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Audiences surveyed by CinemaScore gave the film a grade B on scale of a to F. Joe Ladon of Variety criticized the high camp cheesiness and praised the acting of both Hilary Shepard Turner and Amy Jo Johnson. Lawrence Van Gelder of the New York Times has mixed feelings on the film, criticizing the storyline and dialogue and praising the visual effects and production values. Rita Kempley of the Washington Post called it a purgatory of low-budget interplanetary adventure. Kevin Thomas of the Los Angeles Times gave a positive review, saying the filmmakers have brought much panache and sophistication to the making of this fantasy adventure, extolling the good old-fashioned virtues of spirit and courage embodied by the Power Rangers, and that Turbo is a solid. He also praised Turner's acting and the visual effects. Accolades. Blake Foster was nominated for Best Performance in a Feature Film Leading Young Actor at the 1998 Young Artist Awards.